Crunchy, spicy, juicy, delicious oven Chinese style Guyanese roast pork. This is one delish recipe today. Stick around, we've got a good one. Let's get right into the intro. Today, we're gonna cook that Chinese roast pork. And for that, you need a good piece of pork belly. Mine was not that too good, so that's why I cut it in half, and I'm gonna season it up. There I have Chinese five spice, black pepper, white pepper, salt. I have some grated ginger and garlic. You can also use the powder form of these two if you want, but I just like that extra kick that the freshness gives. So first, moisture will not be your best friend here. You gotta keep all the water off this pork. For it to be crispy, you want the skin to crunch, and even the skin you want it, and the meat you want it to be really nice, tender and juicy. So get rid of that water, sop it up. You'll see throughout this video a few times that I'm wiping the pork because I want to make sure all the moisture is off. So I don't have a machine that usually pokes that hole into the skin, but I've always been using a knife. Just be careful and keep stabbing it gently. You don't want to go right through, just by the skin there, because you don't want that pork to get damaged and it starts seeping up. So as you can see, this is what I'm doing with the skin. Then I'm going to still wipe it off again because it's steady getting some moisture on there. The meat side too. So I'm just going to score it for easy cutting when it's finished from the oven. About 1.5 inch, depends on what you like. And we're not going to go all the way through. And then we're going to season this up really well. And the same thing I'm going to do for the back. I'm just going to score it because this is the part that's hard to cut when it's finished cooking. Let's take some more water off of there. Perfect. Now I don't want to go too far down before I get into the fat. We need that fat to render down while this meat is cooking. That's going to give the pork a lot of flavor. If you have never tried this recipe before, you should give it a try. I've been cooking this for a long while. Very delish. You can adjust some of the pepper if you don't like it, but Chinese five spice, very delicious. Ginger and garlic, very important. I'm going to mix the ginger and garlic now, and as I said, you can use the powder form of this too. And then there's a Chinese five spice, black pepper, white pepper, and some salt. And we're going to rub this generously into the meat. And this is going to give it that nice aroma, nice flavor. But this is the Chinese roast pork you can make at home yourself. So what you can do too, you can put the ginger before also. You can mix it all together and then rub it on the meat. I'm just accustomed doing it this way, so that's why I'm just doing this according to how I have always done it. I'm just going to put the ginger and garlic, and then I'm going to put it between the spaces and the creases of the meat. Now this is better served and prepared the next day. So this is the overnight I'm setting this for, and I'm going to leave it in the fridge for at least 24 hours. And you'll see what I do coming up to the end. Very, very simple but delish. So for the skin side, the only thing that goes on the skin is salt. I've done it before where I put some spices on it and they get all brown, burnt, didn't taste good. So for me, it's always been just salt. And you can put this generously, because in the morning I'm still going to wipe this off to get rid of some more moisture, as you will see upcoming. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to finish up the second piece also. And this is the same process I did for the first piece. If you notice, this one has some water settle on top, so I'm just going to wipe that off too. And when I'm going to put it in the fridge, I'm going to put a little bit more salt on the skin. And don't worry, it's not going to get salty because the salt is right on the skin, and that's coming off before it goes in the oven. So it's best to leave this just as in the pan, open in the fridge, because you want the coldness from the fridge to dry up the meat and make it nice and crispy. That's what will get its skin nice and crispy. As you can see, I'm adding some more salt. I'm just gonna put this in the fridge for 24 hours. And this is the following day. So I'm leaving it on the counter for about 25-30 minutes. And then I'm gonna put it in the oven. So it's gonna go into the oven for 350 for about 45 to 50 minutes. Coming along real nice. This is about 20 minutes in, and look at that. That's what we're eating it with. One of my favorite dish, Chinese fried rice. I'm also going to leave a link at the back of this video for you to take a look at that one. And if you haven't done so as yet, please consider subscribing. There's our pork coming along real nice. So after about 50 minutes, I'm going to turn off the oven and I'm going to put broil on for about 5 minutes, and that's going to get the skin nice and crispy. You see, it gets like crackling on the top. You see how the skin looks? It's almost done, just a few more minutes. This is really, really nice. You definitely need to try this recipe. And if you do, drop me a comment in the video below. Let me know how it came out. I love it like this. The skin is nice and crispy, and it still looks juicy and nice as always. So when I remove this from the oven, I'm going to leave it for about 15-20 minutes before I start cutting into it. You want the meat to rest before you start cutting it into any meat that you cook. Easy, nice, delicious. Nice and tender. And you'll see the skin, how nice it gets crispy when I'm going to cut it. There. And there. This kitchen just smells like a Chinese restaurant right now. Nice and juicy, crispy. And of course, we're having it with the fried rice. Listen to that. Just listen to that. Let's taste a piece. Alright, we're going to cut this up. I'm going to plate it up, set it aside. You can have this as a meal. You can have it as cutters. Family and guests coming over. They are going to praise you for this dish. It's beyond delicious. Let me finish up the other piece too. Crunchy and juicy. Just delish. Alright, so I do hope everyone enjoyed this video. And here we're just going to garnish it a little bit with some green onions or green scallions. You know, we call it shallot in Guyana. It's going to give it a little bit of pop. Just nice and delish again. So once again, thanks for watching the video. Do hope you enjoy. Give the recipe a try. Let me know what you think about the pork video. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Drop me a comment. And as always, thanks for watching.